Hello, this is Rob from Rims Models. This is my first update of the MINIART TIRAN 4 with interior. Just before I start, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, all your comments as well. Really do appreciate them all. So here we're making a start on the engine. This is built straight out of the box. There's no extras on this. It's a really detailed engine. Great, the fit's excellent, as you can see. It's all dry fitted as well. What I do, I look through the instructions and I look to see whatever colours are all the same. I'll glue all them together, paint them as one, and then I'll do little sub assemblies then. So everything I'm fitting here is all the same colour. Some parts are different, but I'll show you that when I get to them. Great fit, excellent, no problem at all. If you're thinking of getting a MINIART kit, just get one because they are worth it as well. I know there's a lot of parts, but they fall together. So that's one side done. Like I said, that's all the same colour. And then you just doing the other side now. And these are keyed as well. You can't get them wrong. Oh, there, look. And also, wherever you can, always glue on the inside as well, so you don't get no glue marks on the outside. Okay, so as I said, all this is the same colour. And then, as you can see, I'm just putting glue on the inside. Right now, these are a different colour, but what I've done, I've glued them in position because the same with these little bits here. I'm going to glue on as well. They're easy enough to get at, to paint with the brush. But careful as well when you're cutting these off the sprue, because there's about 3 attachment points on each one, and they are quite flimsy and easy to break. Now here this is the cradle that the engine sits on. Now this is the same colour as the lower hull, so what I'll do, I'll glue that in position later on and spray it all together, but leave the engine off, leave the engine loose, so you can paint that, and then when it's all together then I can fit the engine. There's about 8 parts on this as well. Right, so that's me offering the cradle up to the engine. So that's what it's going to look like. The top bits, the tape there is just holding the tops on, because I spray them separate. I just think it'll be a bit easier. Okay. Like I said, it's only dry fitted. Right, gluing more parts on there. These parts are different colours, but what I'll do, I'll paintbrush them. I just think it's easier, and to be honest with you, you're not going to see them anyway when it's in. Same with these on the front here, these bits of pipe on the front. There's three attachment points on them, so just nice and careful with your cleaning up. Right, starting the lower hull now. I've had to drill all them holes out. So what I've done, I just drilled holes in the top and the bottom of it, and then cut the middle bit out with the blade. But depending on what option you're doing, you just got to pick which option you're doing and fit the bits, because you don't need to drill them all out. But because I'm fitting the dowser blade, I've had to cut them all out. They're dead simple to fit, and they're keyed as well, so you can only get them one way. But there's another 4 there to fit. Well, I should fit them when I've got it all glued together. Right, now these bits now, are where the torsion bars go through. Okay, so all I do is glue the ends, so when I come to fit the sides I have got a bit of movement in them, and it'll be easier then to line it up. So I'm doing the same on the other side now. Like I said, just gluing the ends. I've got a little hatch to fit there as well. I don't know what these bits are, but they're just glue on the side. Well, what I'll do, I'll only fit these parts, but I won't fit every part, because when I glue it all together I want to do it all in one, so I can wrap the tape around it. And then what I'll do then, when it's dried, I'll take it apart, and then I can glue all the other little bits on the sides and that then. So these bits are okay to fit, because they're not going to get knocked off. But the fit's excellent, as you can see. I know it's a bit warped as well, the hull is, but when you glue the sides on, it does straighten it. Right, I don't know what these bits are, but they just fit over where the torsion bars go through. Just a little simple bit of glue in there. Same with the hatch, just glue that in. There's a little bit of floor that goes over that, so you're not going to see it anyway. So don't get mad with the glue. Nice and steady. Right, here I'm using the MIG slow drying black super glue, and it's really thin, so it capillaries down the joints really nice. So all I've done, I just put a little bit down, glue the photo etching, and then I'll get my cocktail stick and run it down the sides and let the glue capillary under the photo etch, make it nice and solid then. Just starting the torsion bars now. There's 3 parts on each one, and all you'll do then, when you fit them into the hull, just glue the ends, so then they're workable then. But they got the option of having fixed torsion bars as well, so I went for the workable one. Again, just gluing bits on the sides, and you got bits on the torsion bar that come off, and they'll hook onto them little pins sticking out there. Okay, so again, these, I don't know what these bits are, I'm sorry, but all you do, we're just gluing little parts on. Now we're starting on, that's the actual driver's foot pedal, so that's all the same colour. Everything I'm gluing in here is the same colour. All that's got to be brush painted is the actual bit where the foot goes on the pedal, but the rest of it's the same. That's the floor. You got 3 pins on the bottom of it, and there's 3 holes where the pins locate. I'm only dry fitting that, because it's going to be easier to paint that separate. And then there's a little piece that goes over the door. Okay, so more interior parts. There's control levers. I'd say there's 5 parts with a photo etch part. It's pretty, you can't go wrong. The parts are keyed, so they'll only go on in one position. And then I've already bended the photo etch part because it's quite fiddly to see, but that's it there. And then what you got to do, you got to thread one of the control levers through. There's like little slits on it, as you can see. So that's basically it finished. and again that's the same colour as the lower hull, so I can fit that. I've just got to paint the very ends of the levers. There it is in position. I'm just holding the flooring so it doesn't fall out. More construction. And then this again is the same colour, but I don't fit this yet. I'll paint it separate. Dead simple. There's 2, 3, 4. I'd say there's about 8 parts on this as well. And then all you do then is paint it, and then there's a couple of the parts have got to be white, but I'll mask that off. I'll paint it all first, mask it off, and then paint the white. Well, I'll show you that in the next update. And then there's no location points for these, so I'll just look through the instructions, and it'll show you where they're fitted, and then just glue them in position. That's one of the pieces that have got to be white, and this little piece I'm fitting on as well has got to be white. But it does fit together really nicely. There's one more piece to fit, which goes at the bottom. Again, there's no locating pins, which is pretty easy enough. Okay, so that's that done. Now we're actually starting the driver's seat now, and just you'd glue the top and the bottom together, and then you got the backrest as well. It's quite a complex little sub-assembly, but I don't fit the seat because I think it's going to be easier to paint it separate and then glue it in after. And then the backrest just slides in there. There's no need to glue it because it's quite a tight fit, but I do put a bit of glue on there just to make sure. But basically that's what you see. Then you got the rest on that. I've already glued. I finished it off because it's quite fiddly to see. And now this I'm gluing on here is where the 3 fire extinguishers fit. There again, that's the same colour. It's all the same colour. But I don't fit the fire extinguishers. I'll paint them separate. All I've done is offered it up just to make sure it's square, like so. Just square it up and then leave it to dry then. Okay, so now we're starting on the sides now. And what about here? I'm drilling holes. There's about 10 holes for you to drill, and I can't remember the size of the drill bit I used. Okay, so these are the last holes I'm drilling. There are a few ejector pin marks on the back on each surface, like mating surface. So all I do is get my sanding stick, sand them down, just to make sure it's dead flat. Now here I'm using the Revel contactor glue here, and all I do is put a bit on the pins, and then I'll run the extra thin around the edges then. Okay, I've got my clamps. I'll clamp it up just to make sure that it doesn't move, and then I'll put 3 clamps on, and then I'll run the glue around the edges. Alright, so that's it dry now. Now all these parts I'm fitting are all the same colour. I'll leave some parts off to paint them separate. I just think it's easier. There is a little bit of detail painting to do, like the handles and the straps. Well, they're easy enough to paint with a brush. Okay, so that's all them fitted. That's them parts fitted. No problems with the fit. Really, it's just a great kit. Just gluing one more piece on. Again, it's the same colour. It's like a handle, and what you do, there's a box you slide in there. I don't know if it's an ammo box, I'm not sure. Okay, now we're doing the other side now. Again, the same procedure. Use the contactor glue with the 3 clamps, and then I'll run the extra fin around the edges. Now these bits I'm fitting now are where the shells, they fit on there. The shells I'll paint separate as well, but they're keyed. So you got 2 holes one way and then you got 2 holes the other way, but you just make sure you're going the right way up. But they're easy enough to see on the instructions. Now this is another storage rack where all the shells go. There's 20 shelves to store in there. But you could have. They tell you to glue it all together and then paint it. I think it's going to be a lot easier. And it's all the same colour as well. Okay, so there's 2 parts. Now there's parts that go on the ends of that first bit I fitted. There's like bars that go across, but you need to leave them off because you don't get the shells in. But I'll paint all them separate and then fit them in once the shells are in. Okay, this is a bit of plumbing that fits on the bottom. There's 3 lots of wiring in it. There's 2 you glue on the lower hull, and this part here which you glue on the sides. Again, make sure you get it the right way around. There's like the one hole's just in a little bit and the other hole's quite a bit further down, so you just make sure you go it the right way. Now here, this is another part of the engine. I think it's like a filter, I think it is. I'm sorry if I'm giving you the wrong, what it is, if I'm telling you wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And again, it's all the same. So I'll just fit it all together, and I'm keeping always keeping the glue on the inside, like so. Fits excellent. No problems at all with the fit. Okay, so that's the first bit, and then you got another layer that fits on top of that. Okay, so again, don't overdo it with the glue. You don't want the glue oozing out everywhere. And there's holes. There's like 2 holes on the one I'm gluing now, but on the other one there's only 1 hole, so you can't get it wrong. Now these are the sides I'm gluing on now. Again, no problems at all. Right. It is a little bit fiddly to do. Just take your time and you'll be fine. And then again, I'm gluing on the inside because you don't want to have glue oozing out everywhere. Right, and then there's a piece to fit on the top of that then, and then that's that little assembly finished. And then there's a couple of pipes that come off, which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, so that's that bit finished. That's your top. That's the is that the top or the bottom? That's the bottom. So I'll just run your glue around the edge. like so. Fit this on. It'll only go one way as well, so you can't get it wrong. That's a nice little assembly. It's really easy to fit together. And then these are the little bars that go onto that what I've just made up. There's like again it's keyed, so it'll only go on one way, but obviously you got to make sure you get the right part matching the right, because there's like a left and a right. And then just that there is a bit of quick setting, to me, a quick setting glue. Okay, and then this is the other side now. And then when you glue the engine, when you glue it all together, them bits I'm gluing on now, actually you glue them to the sides of the lower hull. They'll fit onto the engine, and then you'll put the engine in and glue it all together. Again, I'll show you that on the next update. Okay, so just again it's keyed, so you can't get it wrong. Right, so that's that finished. And then what I'll do then, leave that to dry, and then I'll fit it all together then. But I don't glue it in position because I want it's actually a different colour. Right, this bit now, these are more bits to put the shells on. There's two there to do. Again, make sure you get them the right way. They are keyed, but you can put it upside down. Okay, and it's all the same colour. So just keep going through your instructions, making sure the more you can fit together, the better it's going to be. Okay, just straighten it up, make sure it's straight. And then there, look, see how the holes are going the other way now. And then just make sure, because you don't want one way and one the other way, because your shell won't fit on. Okay, so that's them fitted. And what I'll do in a bit now, this is it all glued together. Well, it's only dry fitted together, but basically that's what it's going to look like. The fire extinguishers are dry fitted, everything's dry fitted. The tape's just to help it keep it together. So there you go. Thanks for looking, and I'll see you on the next update.